There's a strange truth about human nature. Most people will never see the whole of you. They will see fragments, pieces, shadows, but never the full scale. Not because you're hiding, and not because you're difficult to understand, but because their vision stops at the edge of their own limits. They will measure you the only way they know how, by using the tape measure of their own life. If their tape measure is short, they'll assume you must be small. If their experience is narrow, they'll assume your world must be narrow too. And if they've never reached high, they'll look at your height and call it impossible. They are not seeing you. They are seeing a reflection of themselves, projected onto you. It's like asking someone who has only ever walked in a small, dimly lit room to imagine an entire city glowing at night. They can try, but their mind will stop before the streets are built in their imagination. Think about it. When you tell certain people your plans, you can feel it in their reaction. You say, "I want to build something huge," and their first response is doubt, not excitement. They warn you about failure before you've even taken the first step. They say, "That's too risky," or "That's unrealistic." But what they really mean is, "It's too risky for me. I can't imagine doing that myself." Their words aren't about your potential at all. They're about the boundaries of their own courage. And this is how small minds work. They don't believe in the mountains they've never climbed. If they've never seen a peak, they call it a myth. If they've never stood on a tall building, they claim the sky is out of reach. They can't see beyond what they've known, so they turn your vision into a threat to theirs. Because if your scale is real, if your dreams are possible, then it forces them to face the truth about what they've settled for. Sometimes, it's not even malice, it's habit. A person who has lived with limitations for too long begins to treat those limitations like the walls of a home. Safe, familiar, protective. And when they see you trying to step outside those walls, they panic. They try to pull you back inside, not realizing that what feels like safety to them is suffocation to you. It's like showing a telescope to someone who has spent their life looking through a keyhole. You point it toward a galaxy, but they refuse to look. They laugh it off. They say, "There's nothing there." But the truth is, they aren't ready to see. They aren't ready for the idea that the world might be bigger than the space they've known. And in their mind, if they can't see it, it must not exist. And here's where the danger lies. If you're not careful, you might start to believe them. That's how dreams shrink. That's how potential dies quietly. Because the longer you live around people who measure you by their limits, the more you begin to adjust yourself to fit inside their frame. You start making yourself smaller, so you won't make them uncomfortable. You stop aiming high so you won't have to hear their doubt. And before you know it, you've traded your horizon for their ceiling. But you were never meant to live under someone else's ceiling. You were never meant to be contained by someone else's fears. You are not here to match their size. You are here to grow beyond it. And the sooner you understand that their inability to see your full scale is their limitation, not yours, the sooner you will stop seeking their approval. Because you are not measured by the size of their ruler. You are measured by the size of your vision. And their small mind can't comprehend that. When someone underestimates you, you have two choices. You can shrink to fit inside their picture of you, or you can keep expanding until their picture no longer contains you. And here's the thing, the people who doubt you will almost always be louder than the people who believe in you. That's because insecurity loves to speak, and vision prefers to work quietly. You can't let their noise drown out your calling. Think of their opinion as a mirror, but not a clean, clear mirror. It's small, cracked and warped like glass left out in the rain for years. It doesn't reflect your true self. It shows a bent, incomplete shadow of who you are. And yet, too many people live their whole lives judging themselves by that broken reflection, as if it were the only truth. If you keep staring into that warped glass, you will never see your real height. You'll never see the depth of your roots, the stretch of your reach, the vastness of what you're capable of. You'll walk around believing you're smaller than you are, not because you lack greatness, but because you've been looking in the wrong mirror. Here's the truth. You can't get a clear vision of yourself from someone whose lens is clouded by their own fears, insecurities, and limits. Stop expecting a panoramic view from a mind that only sees in narrow corridors. Stop asking a small cup to hold the ocean. You don't need their permission to grow. You don't need their validation to take the next step. The tallest tree in the forest doesn't ask the bushes if it's allowed to rise above them. It doesn't seek approval before stretching toward the light. It just grows, quietly, consistently, season after season, until its branches stand where no bush could ever imagine reaching. And yes, there will be moments when you'll wish they could see your full scale. You'll want them to say, "I knew you could do it," or "I'm proud of you." But here's the hard reality. Some people will only believe in your greatness when it's impossible to ignore. Only after the proof is towering and undeniable will they nod in recognition. And by then, you won't need their applause, because you'll have learned to clap for yourself. Your life is not the product of their expectations. Your life is shaped by your own choices, your discipline, your refusal to quit, your faith in what you cannot yet see. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to take their underestimation and turn it into fuel. Every doubt they throw at you, add it to the fire. Every "you can't" they spit out. Let it echo in your mind as a challenge, and then answer it with action. History is full of people who were told they were aiming too high. The world has never been changed by those who stayed neatly inside the lines someone else drew for them. Every breakthrough, every invention, every revolution worth remembering began with a person who said, "Your limits are not my limits." The ones who didn't just talk about proving others wrong. They lived it, step by step, until their results drowned out every doubt. So keep building, keep climbing, keep stretching your horizon so far and wide that no one, not even you, right now, can see its end. And when people try to box you in, smile and let them. Their definition doesn't change your reality. It just shows how little of you they've actually seen. Because here's the secret. They are only seeing a fraction of your scale. You are galaxies bigger than they imagine. You are chapters they haven't read, music they haven't heard, storms they haven't weathered, and mountains they haven't climbed. And if you've made it this far into these words, then take this with you. Don't just hear it. Live it. Carry it into every challenge, every setback, every dream that makes your heart beat faster. Build a life so expansive that no small mind could ever measure it. And if this spoke to you, then you already know this isn't the end. It's the beginning of you stepping into the scale they can't see. Subscribe, follow, stick around. Not for me, but for the version of yourself who refuses to be defined by anyone else.